Welcome back to another episode of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I'm without Ben again. He's been busy. I guess it's that Christmas season keeping him away. Not necessarily his football team, however, he'd probably have the excuse if he wanted it. Um, but I'd like to introduce you all to Sam. Sam,
Yo, yo.
the outfit you got on today, costume, whatever you want to call it, it's on point.
Thank you. Thank you. I put a lot of thought into it. So,
It's
uh,
not gonna lie, it's gonna be distraction all episode for me, but I'm gonna be smiling more than I probably usually am on these
right
episodes.
on. That was the goal. So, mission accomplished already. You guys have a good night. All right. Thanks.
so, Sam, yeah, welcome aboard, man.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
it's been a unique year. First time
Yes.
I've ever had to remove somebody from the league, and then Uh, ultimately, I think it turned out well. We got somebody back in the league that hasn't been in for a long time, somebody that was competitive. I think you've even won before back in the day, if I
Did.
recall.
Yes. Yep.
I've heard little Josh complain about it. He's like, "Oh man, not Sam."
Yeah. I think I was in the top three a couple of times. So it was good run.
One of the things that's always so great about this league, it is very competitive, and having somebody to replace somebody in the league that wasn't fully committed, that actually, I'll say, out of his league. I guess that's really the best way to put it. But have somebody that could almost get a team back into the playoffs.
We gave it a go.
Man, you gave it a go. We were all rooting for you, man.
I appreciate it. It was fun. It was kind of fun not having the pressure at all, just knowing I'm coming in kind of
Yeah.
an underdog in pretty much every matchup. Although my point, when the predictions were always pretty good for me, but
Hmm.
yeah, it was fun. It's been fun so far. I will also say, in defense of the gentleman that you kicked out, I don't know if you guys have ever done like fantasy hockey or fantasy baseball, but I made the mistake of joining a couple of those leagues, and those things, I mean, you have to check it multiple times a
Oh
day.
yeah.
And I've been trying to get kicked out of a couple of those leagues, and no one else wants to play. So they just keep me in there. And it's like I check my team like once a month. It's real bad. So obviously, football is my sport. You don't need to worry about that in football. This is my third league. I'm in two other leagues, and I happen to finish first in both of those. So look out, everybody. Next year, I'm coming for you. But super happy to be back, and I just thank you for the invite.
Yeah, I think you made a good point on the fantasy football because I've tried some of the other leagues. They just don't hit the same as fantasy football. Fantasy football,
Man,
it feels like you could still have your normal life. You're not
oh,
involved every
100%.
single day like you have to be.
100%. I,
Um,
I typically will check it, once in the morning, once in the evening when it's not game days, just
yeah,
to check injuries and that type of thing. But yeah, like you said, it's pretty much 10 minutes a day, if that. So it's football's definitely the easiest and the funnest.
yeah, I would agree.
Yes, sir.
Every game's more impactful than any baseball or
Oh
hockey.
gosh,
However, hockey is a lot of fun. I've been getting more and more into hockey for the past few years.
fantasy or the
Um,
sport?
the sport,
Oh, I love hockey.
dude, went to my first
Hockey's
hockey game
fun.
a few years ago, and I think I enjoy that more than going to an actual football game. It's just,
I might be with you. Did you go to a Blues game or what?
yeah,
What did you go to?
I went
Okay,
to Blues.
so we have the Missouri Mavericks here
Hmm.
in Kansas City, and the arena seats like four people. So it's like anywhere you sit, it's awesome, and you're on the ice. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, hockey's great.
Well, Sam, I kind of, I shared my agenda and everything. A little bit about you, man. Some of the people in the league, they've never met you before. Most of them have, or they remember you from before, especially little Josh. But
Yeah,
just a little bit about you. I mean, for most people, they know that you and I were roommates in college. We were fraternity brothers, or rather, are fraternity brothers. Um, I don't want to say we finished each other's sentences back in college, but man, you and I'll call it, we were the Wombo combo in college.
yes, yeah,
That just
yeah.
made
We
me
got
laugh.
we got into a lot of mischief, but Well, it was fun. It was nothing, bad, but
No, there's
we
nothing
always
bad.
had a lot of fun. I'll never forget going up and down the aisles at Walmart or Aldi, and we're like, "Don't forget the butt cream, Mitch,
Oh
that you
yeah.
need. You remember you got that itchy butt. Don't forget the cream." Just yelling it like 2 aisles over,
Was
and
it on the? Is it on the
just
left or right side? I can't find it.
yeah. So and just living off of frozen pizzas folded in
Frozen
half to the
pizzas,
side.
chicken flatbread sandwiches from Taco Bell.
Oh, preach! Yes. But yeah, no, I live in Blue Springs, which is about 25 minutes outside of downtown Kansas City. I can get to the stadium, Roadhead and Kaufman, in about 15, 20 minutes or so, which is pretty cool. I'm married. My wife's name is Natalie. I have 2 children. I have
Hey,
a seven.
real quick, I'm gonna have you adjust your mic. It is starting to cut out a little bit.
I bet the hood's
You,
throwing it off.
there you go. That's a lot better.
Is that better?
Yeah, the
All
hood is
right.
getting a little too excited, I think.
Yeah, keep me on check. Keep
I
me on
will.
check.
I
So
will.
just Sam, Blue Springs, just outside of downtown, can get to the stadiums in 20 minutes. Married, wife Natalie. I have 2 children, a daughter Penelope, who's 7, and a son Callahan, who's 4. I'm in sales. I like selling people things, and I'm decent at it. Um, love football, played football all the way up through high school. I wrestled to stay in shape for football primarily, but that was a good time too. And then it all fell apart when I went to college and I gained like 400 pounds and just had so much fun. But we ended up pulling through, and I got the degree. I mean, I literally was walking across the stage, and the head of the social studies department looked at me and went, "Really, really?" And I'm like, "Come on, man, seriously?" But no, we made it, and I think I finished with like a 3.4, so it counts, right? So
That's better than me.
um, yeah, like I said, I'm in sales now. I love it. It lets me be pretty fluid with my time. I never have to miss any of my kids' stuff, that type of thing. My boss lives in St. Louis, which is nice because I can be like, see ya, and then not see him for like a month. But yeah, man, I'm a pretty simple guy. I'm very frugal. I don't like to spend money. Um, and I'm a homebody. I like to get out and do things, but to be honest with you, my ideal night is just kind of. We actually played Mario Kart earlier with 40s,
Yeah.
tearing up the course. So it was a good time.
Your your hood is starting to get back into the mix. You just
We're
might have
just
to.
gonna do this.
We'll have a moment that works too. That's a good hat.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
So
All about you.
for those in the league too, Sam will also play golf.
Oh yes,
So I know
yes.
there's a
Thank you.
handful of us in the league that likes to go golf. So
Invite me. I will tell you. So I coach t-ball and machine pitch and basketball and soccer, even though I never played soccer. And then I just started coaching Callahan golf, actually. Um, so the reason why I bring that up is typically I tried to get out once or twice a month. I go on a golf trip with some guys every year. Besides that, I got out one time this year.
wow.
So I was kind of
Yeah.
bumming hard because that's my escape is golf. I'm not good at it, but we have a good time.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm good at it either, but if I'm playing a scramble, I'll hold my own. I'll put in some good
Oh yeah.
shots. But
Yeah. You're probably the grip it and rip it guy at the end. Like everybody else hits, and then we're like, all right, Mitch, let it rip, and you just get up there
well,
and
see, I'm the short guy. Like I threw a lot of
yeah,
money
you
into a
are.
driver. I threw a lot of money driver. I do have a big swing. I don't think you've ever seen Orscheln golf. Man, I feel dirty just kind of bragging on him a little bit.
Does he
He
swing out of his shoes?
well, let's just say his swing is awkward, but it's huge. If him and I were both swinging the same driver, he would easily. Oh, he would
Don't
outdrive me
say it.
about
Just don't
30,
say it.
30 or 35 yards if we were
Okay.
using the same club. So, he has a big swing. He's somebody I do like to golf with, and generally he does do better than me, 9 times out of 10.
Well,
But it
we'll
feels
have to get
great
out
whenever I'm there.
sometime.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. Just give his ball a kick every once in a while. Keep him on his toes. Have you
you
ever
know,
ran over someone's ball with their cart and so they can't find it? That works like a charm too.
I'm gonna have to do that to him. But now he's gonna
Oh
be ready
yeah.
for it. I'll just deny it. It's
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
So
You can blame it on me.
I will.
There you go.
Um, let's see. We kind of somewhat talked on this, but your thoughts on the league? I know you're happy to be back. Thoughts on the podcast? This is different.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't
Mm-hmm.
do this back in the day, and this is year 2 that we've
Mm-mm.
been doing this. But your thoughts on all that? Because I like any kind of feedback I can get for this. I know this year I'm way more comfortable doing it than I was last year. It's almost second nature anymore. Uh, my wife still hates it. I think all the wives of the league hate it, and I'm hearing Millie go, "Mm-hmm."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just your thoughts on the league, the podcast.
Yeah. Um, so the league is awesome, and I'm excited to really get back into it. I know I was here for what, maybe about half it, but just on like looking at the Discord chat and everything, there's a lot of inside jokes flying around, which doesn't turn me off by any means. It makes me excited because I know like there's things that I need to get caught up on, and it's just obvious you guys are a close knit group,
Oh, yeah.
um, that's not afraid to talk a little smack. It seems like you all are really good with editing software. I don't know, with all the gifs and stuff flying around. I don't know how you guys are doing that noise. I can like send a smiley face, but it's just the league is super competitive. All my other leagues, like someone has a pop off game or a running back gets hurt, right? And you want to go pick up the backup. I could pretty much just like do a slow jig over to my computer and just like count on that guy being there in my other leagues. Like do do do, just like
Yeah.
take my time, pick them up. Meanwhile, this league, they're gone out the door, or if they're on waivers, you got some crazy guys dropping all their cash on a backup running back for San Francisco that really kind of pissed me off. I'm not going to name names or anything like
That was
that, but
Mike. I will name
I
names.
know it was Mike. I know it was Mike, and I will just let Mike know, Mr. Mike, that this is the first time I've ever dealt with money like this, and I didn't know I could just like bomb it all on one player. So you're a lucky cat, but next year look out.
Oh, see what's great about that? He's going to play him this week, and he's going to put up 0 points.
Oh yeah, yeah, because I'm gonna bust his kneecap out before the game starts. Is what's gonna happen. Actually, I can't do that because I have him on one of my other
All right.
teams.
Well,
Because, like I
bench him.
said, I could just
Yeah.
dig over to the computer and pick them up. So, but anyways, yeah, no, that it's. I like the concept of that. I love keeper leagues because it brings the rookies in. If you don't have a keeper league, rookies rarely, unless they're a top tier,
Hmm.
starting rookie, they don't get drafted or they really don't get picked up, even though they have potential down the road. In a league like this, the keeper leagues, it's fun because you can really pick up people and stash them away, knowing that they could have potential and that you might want to use one of your 2 free spots on them. So the league in general, the people is awesome or are awesome. The podcast is a great idea. I think it's fun. I think I mentioned to you before we got started, I like to listen to it in snippets. Definitely always listen to my matchup feedback from you guys. I need to get better about just throwing it on, like you said, on our way to work or that type of deal. Because I think I miss a lot of the fun topics that you guys talk about. But
Yeah.
overall, I love the concept, and it's awesome. I'm very happy you invited me back, and hopefully I can stick around for a while, and we'll all have a good time together.
Sounds good. So I know before we get into the matchups, if I recall, you are in the last place game this week because you lost last week, right?
Probably no, I
Did
did
you
not.
win?
I won by a decent margin, so I'm in the consolation semifinals against the Aeroplanes.
Okay. Oh, sweet. Okay. Never mind. So for whatever reason, I was thinking that you were in the last place game. That's even better. That means someone's doing a last place punishment this year.
Oh,
Because I had plans on the event that you took last place. I wasn't going to force you to do a
oh,
punishment
come on!
because
You
you,
know I would have gone along with
well, I would have had an idea for you.
it. Okay,
And it would have involved a lot of other people if they so wanted to be a part of it. The
okay,
fact that you're not in it, I'm not going to worry about it. But anyways, with that, we're gonna jump right into matchups.
let's do
Everybody's
it.
playing this week, and we're
Everybody,
we are gonna start off with the last place matchup. So this
last place
is
match.
it's Ben versus AJ and Tommy. This is Black Magic Airplane Kickers versus Lame of the Sun God or Lame of Sun God.
Okay,
Um, I'll go ahead and get this started off. I know last week I'm gonna stick to what I said last week. Ben's not getting last. Beginning
Which
of the
one's
year.
Ben? Lamb of Sun God?
No, Ben is Black Magic Airplane Kickers.
Oh no, he'll get last. Love you, Ben. You're getting last, brother. But anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
um, it's what's so crazy about this matchup. At the beginning of the year, I'd say that there was a strong consensus that these were the two best teams, or among the best teams in the league.
I can see that.
And earlier this year, Ben had C.J. Stroud, and everybody had high expectations of him this year. He fell off some this year.
Yeah.
Some of that's not his fault. His O line's terrible. Um, and then he dealt with injuries too. Debo Samuel was a big miss this year, which was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Isaiah Pacheco getting hurt. I know on paper, AJ and Tommy. So Tommy is AJ's son. He's in high school. They're co-managing
Okay.
together, and I mean AJ and Tommy should win if you just look at the rosters, but they're gonna lose. It might be a little biased. It might be because AJ's won before.
Yeah.
Um, I've been picking Ben to win a lot. A lot of the matchups that he's lost, I've picked him to win. Not giving up on him just yet. I think he's going to pull one out whenever he needs it most, and it will be
Okay.
this one. And somebody will be naming AJ and Tommy's team next year. But Ben or Sam, if you want to break down this matchup, it's all you now. You can break it down.
All right. Let's break it down quickly. First of all, you just don't, Mitch, bet against Dicker the kicker. Okay. So that right there seals the matchup for me. But on top of Dicker, you also look just going down the line. Quarterback, give me Daniels any day. The receiver core, Lamb of Sun God for sure. Running backs, Kamara is hobbled. Derrick Henry's kind of fallen off a little bit, it seems like, here
Yes.
recently. He's still a stud. He carried me for years, so I'm never going to talk bad on him. But up against Bijan, who I know he's dropped off, but I'm sorry, that's not Bijan, but Robinson Jr. He's been coming on. The running back core is more of a toss-up, but I think because of the PPR league alone, I think the receiving core for Lamb of Sun God is going to carry him. Plus, like I said, Dicker the kicker all the way, and then Irving. Let's hope he goes because I have him in another league, and he's a stud that's come on. Probably a keeper candidate, to be honest with you, for Lamb of Sun God.
Dude, so Bucky Irving, that's something. And you're right. That is keeper potential right there.
Yep.
So I know in terms of quarterback matchups, I'd almost be willing to bet ice cream too. Russell Wilson will have a better week than Daniels. Russell Wilson playing divisional
Ice
matchup.
cream?
Yeah,
Okay.
dude, you know how I am with ice cream.
Yeah, but
Dude, it's not money
okay.
for me anymore. It's ice cream. Ice cream is more.
No, I was talking more about the bet. I mean, Wilson can drop a rainbow in, but besides that,
He's
I'm
had
not a
some
big fan.
he's had some big games. Baltimore is open to give up a lot of points. Jaden Daniels against Phillies. D, one of the best defenses in the league, actually the best defense in the league. I think this is really more so matchup, not necessarily talent. I think on a normal week, I would give it to Jaden Daniels, but I think this week the matchup favors Russell a whole lot more than Jaden Daniels does.
Okay, I think they're going to have to both quarterbacks are going to have to score a lot to win, and so I think they're going to be chucking the ball. If this was a running back that we're talking about going against Philly, I would say no. But a quarterback, obviously, a better defense slows down the quarterback, but you got to score points somehow. And when it gets to a negative script, they start launching the ball around, and so I think Daniels put up some junk. It's not going to be a close game. I think the Eagles will win. Um, but I think Daniels will be chunking the ball around, and in the trash time, he'll put up some good points for them.
All right, we got one for AJ and Tommy, and one for Sam. Let's move on to why can't I see these other matchups? Yahoo's changing the view on stuff. All right, we're going to switch over to your matchup, Sam.
Let's
You
do it.
and Josh. I'm going to let you do this one first.
Okay. Well, Josh Allen is just a game wrecker, and he has been for a while now. It's a conference game, if I'm correct. I'm not super great on conferences, but I believe
It
that
is.
it's a division game. And so he's going to be going out. He's going to score a lot of points, and he has been the last several weeks. I mean, there's been weeks where I could have benched 3 or 4 players and still won in some of my other leagues because it's just he's ridiculous. And then when I first looked at this team when I inherited it, I was kind of like, man. And then I really looked at it and I was like, oh man, there's definitely some building blocks here. And so just looking at it, I don't know if Metcalf's fully back yet or not. How did he do last week? I didn't even pay attention. Do you
Um,
know? I guess I
I-
also have the
I'm
ability to
gonna
click
check.
into
He
it.
only scored 4.3 points.
Yeah,
3 receptions for 28 yards. It was nothing too
I'm not
special.
trusting anybody on the Giants. Metcalf is still coming back. I heard someone called Tua the Hawaiian Jones. So I'm not going to put much faith in him. Now his running back core is not bad, and Swift has been coming on the last couple of weeks. It seems like a little bit. Um, Overall, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I win this one, and I think I do it pretty handily. But we'll see what happens.
I'm gonna keep this simple. I think you have this week in the bag. Uh, Little Josh's team, it's fell off due to some injuries, and then some players they started off performing well, then they underperformed. Um, Neighbors, that was somebody that started off really hot, and I was pretty. I mean, looking at Josh's team, like this is going to be a problem, but it's not.
And Rasheed Rice, man, if he
Hmm.
would have had Neighbors and Rasheed Rice with Metcalf in one of the flex all year,
Yeah.
that'd have been
Well, earlier this
he's
year,
gonna
this
grow.
was before you got on. He traded away Jamar Chase to get Williams. Kyron Williams because Josh needed a running back. Like the trade at the time made all the sense in the world, and then Chase lit it up, and Mike already had Joe Burrow. So if Mike wins, I'm blaming Josh.
I feel like he gave him the blue properties in Monopoly right there.
I mean, he
Like he gave
basically
him the
did.
Monopoly. He already had Joe Burrow, which is what, like Boardwalk, and then he gave him Jamar Chase, which
Gave him
is
Park
whatever the
Place.
other blue. Yeah, Park Place. So yeah, he definitely set us up with some heavy rent on it. When you need a running back, you need a running back, and Williams is, in my opinion, one of the best, most consistent running backs out there. He's a stud.
Consistent key, absolutely.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
So, but no, geez, Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson, they're lighting up. Sutton, yeah, I like Sutton. Um, your running backs are question marks. I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
Najee Harris, but Brees Hall,
I tried to defend him when I first took over the team, but I never drafted him, and I never will. And he's touchdown dependent,
yeah,
and
he doesn't get
it's give
many.
or take. No,
Uh, I like Brees Hall, but the Jets, like as a talent, I like Brees Hall, but the Jets are just a mess.
he's
Um,
wasted.
yeah,
So is Wilson, the
yep.
running back out or the receiver out there.
Hmm.
Man, put him on a team with a quarterback. He could be a Jamar Chase, in my opinion. Have
I
you
think
seen
so
some of
too.
the catches he's made?
Oh yeah.
He's a
He,
stud.
he's had some amazing. He had that one amazing catch this year.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
so, but yeah, I think across the board, I mean, for the most part, I think you are winning all the matchups. Mark Andrews is lighting it up second half of the season.
Yes, he
Um,
is.
so, all right, well, Sam, I'm giving this to you. It sounds like you're giving it to yourself. I think any
Yeah, I feel
unbiased.
dirty doing that, but
Uh,
oh
yeah, I take it you're using an Apple tablet.
yeah,
Yeah, it does
oh,
that. I'm
that's
pretty sure
neat.
it'll do thumbs down too if you try
I'm pretty easily entertained. All
it.
right.
So has Ben. Um, all right, let's move on to the other consolation bracket matchup. This is Ryan and Mark at as put some mustard on it against Steve IP sitting down.
Me too. It's more comfortable. You don't get tired.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's like a break. It's like a break in the middle of your day. Because if you're going number two, then you're working. But if you pee sitting down, you're just sitting down and relaxing and just letting things flow. So
Of all the
A
people I
matchup.
give, of all the people I give a hard time about Pink sitting down, that has to be probably one of the most smoothest ways to play that off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It,
When you're pooping, you got to work. Whenever you're peeing, you're taking a break.
that's it. That's it. 100%. And never, if you can help it, folks, hopefully you've all figured it out by now. Never poop for free. If you got to go, get into the office first, then go to the bathroom and get paid for doing your work. Okay? That's a little downsism for you. All right.
I love it.
Matchup.
All right, matchup. I'll go ahead and start this one off.
Ooh, this is a good one, isn't it?
This one will be a good one. I do think Steve is going to win this to start this thing off. I do like Aaron Rodgers play this week. I know with Steve's team, I mean, well, he doesn't have another quarterback on his team at the moment, so that's his only play. But uh, Aaron Rodgers against the Rams, sure, I'll take it. AJ Brown, since he had his little cautious diva moment, um, well, he had a big game last week. I don't think he's somebody that you could expect to get really 100 yards every single game, but he should be able to get you volume and 50% chance he'll get you a touchdown. He should be able to get you at least 10 points every week,
Oh,
though.
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, looking at this, Connor and Cook, Cook. That's a running back I
Dude,
want next year.
yeah. Where did he come from? I felt like he came out of the woodworks this last like 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, like towards the tail end of last year, he started coming out of nowhere and being
Yeah,
a
man.
like a huge impact running back. Like there were games last year where you'd see it, but the consistency wasn't there. Then like week 11, 12, and it's been constant with him.
Yep.
Trey McBride. I mean, honestly, I think I like Trey McBride over Kelsey. I get why Kelsey gets projected more. Um, Alexander Madison, if he's healthy, sure, I think that's fine for a flex. Like Jameson Williams more as a flex because you have more potential of a bigger game from him than you do Madison. I think Steve just has a little bit more going for his team, and then plus looking at Ryan and Mark's team, they have the combo I hate. They have a running back and a wide receiver from the same team, and that team is the Falcons, and they are using Phoenix this week. You are playing the Giants.
I think you're opening the door. I think everybody's going to be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me if Bijan goes off for one of those 30-plus point games because they're going to have to put it on his back, passing and running. Because the rookie, and I didn't mean to hijack you there,
No,
Mitch,
you're
but
good. I was basically done.
um,
So
uh, the rookie quarterback's going to come in and do his thing, but he's going to panic and he's going to look for a safety valve. And Bijan can catch the ball out of the backfield. And so I think it wouldn't surprise me if he goes for a big game. But yeah, the London play is risky with a rookie quarterback out there. I don't think he's going to hit that projection number.
are they playing in London? Or you said Drake London? My goodness, it's been a
Yeah,
day.
it's all right. They can go overseas, have some tea. Kelsey, here's the thing: is I love my Chiefs, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I hope my wife can't hear me say this, but I think Kelsey, realistically, and I know I'm jumping into a whole nother topic, probably needs to be done after this year. He's not going to be, but I think he's got a really bright future after football. And I mean, he just seems like he's a little bit slower. His hands aren't as sure as they have been in the past. He's smart enough that he's still very productive and doing the laterals and stuff like that. He's a smart guy and he can get open. So sorry, I'm getting off topic, but give me Kelsey over McBride just because he's gonna marry Taylor Swift. And then I don't know. Just to be that guy, I'm gonna put some mustard on it, Mitch. I'm gonna
All
put some
right,
mustard.
put some
Golf,
mustard on.
anybody that plays for Detroit, look out because they are angry, they are mean, and they're gonna come out winging on
Well,
Chicago.
they have to with how many injuries they got. They got it. Like, I mean, Chicago. I mean, Chicago's going to get decimated this week
Yes.
after Detroit losing
Oh
last
God.
week. I think the X factor with Ryan and Mark is what's going to happen with Atlanta. Uh,
Yeah.
are they going to play well? If they play well, then sure, you got the shot. I think there's just more going for Steve and his team this week via matchups. Um, and unless Atlanta does something that we haven't seen all year.
Game on.
So,
Let's see.
all right.
Let's put some mustard on it.
Moving to the fifth and sixth place game. So we got Orslin, handicap accessible, and Cameron as Scott's Tots. Both of these are former champions of the league. Um, we like to give Andrew a hard time, and yeah, he won. I'm going to bring this up after I said I don't, but you should have some history lesson for you here, Sam. The year
Mm-hmm.
that Andrew won, he actually beat me in the championship.
Oh, what a dirty guy.
This was the year that Cincinnati Buffalo game didn't finish, and I had a handful of players impacted by that. He did too, but at the time of the injury, there at the tail end of the first quarter, he was only projected to beat me by 7, and I still had some of my best players.
Sounds like that championship's got an asterisk next to it there, Andrew.
Well, he gets that reminder, but I guess this might be really more for you, Sam. We played it as it lied, so to say. So the NFL they didn't continue, and he won. So I could argue that I should have predicted that there would be a first time ever event where they straight up canceled the game, and should never have played those players to begin with.
If you were any good at fantasy football, Mitch, you would have seen that coming.
See,
So
that's what everybody tells me. So
yeah,
I'm the dummy,
kind of
but
on you.
that's that's the year that he won. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me was hoping I'd get my revenge game against him in the championship if I got that far, which I
Mm-hmm.
still can. But he's already been eliminated, and that's still awesome that he lost.
Toodles.
Um, but but yeah, two former champions here. I'll let you break down this matchup first.
All right. So if I remember correctly from way back in the day, our boy Andrew likes Green Bay, correct? Yes. So see Love on here. He's I like watching him play. He's good. Um, quarterback, I'm gonna give it to Love. Receivers, he'll just if you know I listen to everything I read on Facebook. So according to that, Hill requested a trade today. So and he's questionable. So I don't know how well he's going to perform unless he's out there, trying out for other teams by putting stuff on film. Um, receiver core, I'm going to give it to Andrew. His running backs are wow, both their running backs are really good actually. Man, that's tight. I was actually going to give the running backs to Andrew hands down, but I got to give it to Scott's Tots, and not to mention, Taylor likes to drop the ball before running all the way into the end zone. Complete knucklehead. I saw something the other day. It was like 2024. Are we really still doing this?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? It's not even cool. Like, it's not
No.
even neat. But so running backs, I'll give it to Scott's Tots. Tight ends, I'm gonna go Hawkinson. So just looking at the breakdown here, I'm gonna give it to Andrew. I think Andrew's actually gonna win this one, based on the fact that his receivers are better and it's a PPR league. So I think that carries a lot of weight. Um, I do like the Murray and Harrison combo, but no, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go. Andrew takes the win on this one.
So I'm gonna give this one to Cameron. Good old Scott's
Oh
Tots.
man, you and I
See,
we're
yeah,
button heads here.
we are. There's only one game that we agreed on. That's you winning. Um, I'm not a fan of the Tyreek Hill play. I mean, if you have Tyreek Hill, you gotta play him.
Oh,
And
you have to,
I
yeah.
would play him. Cooper Cup is gonna do better than 0 points this week. Um,
Yeah, but there's that's such a target rich environment.
it is. I mean, it's him and Puka. I think they'll feed Cup this week. Jamar Gibbs, man, projected almost 20 points.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
ridiculous. He's gonna
losing
be pissed though.
losing knuckles, so to say. I
Yeah.
mean, I took a hit on my team losing that, but Detroit, they're going to be playing angry this week. They got to win.
Yep.
I mean, I hope they lose for reasons that I want the Eagles to have number one seed, but
Hmm.
they're going to go to Chicago and destroy them.
Yeah.
Love Chase Brown, man. He's become like I think they found their franchise running back. They need to fix a few things on the offensive line. They need to fix their
Orlando.
defense. Uh, I think if Cincinnati had any form like a middle of the pack defense, we'd be talking about them being one of the teams that could be
Oh,
going to the Super Bowl.
easily, easily.
So I like Harrison this week. I think Kyler Murray and Harrison's going to connect for at least one. This is going to be a tough match. I don't like I This is a coin flip, but I'm going to give it to Cameron because he's going to win a game that it doesn't matter, and that's why I'm going to pick Cameron.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Next, we will move on. We're in the championship bracket now. We're going to move to first round fail. This is Drew, who was not in the league whenever you were in it before, and then Clark, the
Okay.
Read for Speed, who also was not in the league before.
Okay.
Um,
Mm.
I will go ahead and start this. So this,
Yeah, give it a go.
to me, this one, man, this is tough. This is so tough. Who does Clark have as another quarterback? He has Anthony Richardson. So I got a question for you. I know Patrick Mahomes is a full participant. If for whatever reason he doesn't play, would you play Carson Wentz over Richardson?
And we're going to talk about, it sounds like talk about that here in a little bit. So I don't want to go too far into the weeds now, but the short answer, yes.
So I mean, I probably would too. But looking at this, I mean, if I had to say, I would rather play Drew in the championship. I think Clark's team could pop off for bigger numbers compared to Drew's, and that's because of Saquon Barkley. Um, Especially with next week, the Eagles are playing the Giants at home. I don't want to play against Saquon Barkley, whether it's for third place or first place. So,
It's going to be nasty.
man, this is just tough. I'm gonna give it to Drew. Uh, the game against Pittsburgh is big. Uh, Ravens, they need to win if they're gonna take over that division. Um, it's at home. I think the X factor in this game is going to be Lamar Jackson. Mike Evans is lighting it up uh, there in Tampa Bay, and you're playing Dallas, who's not good. They don't have a good secondary. Shakir, sure. Love Hubbard, Jerome Ford this week. I think he's going to get more than his projection. They're playing a different quarterback there. They're going to rely on the running game. They're playing against a bad Cincinnati defense. Uh, Smith, that as a tight end this year is just it's insane. Um,
Mhm.
and he's projected less than Kittle. I get why Kittle has to be projected what he is, but Kittle's not going to be the best tight end between these two. Zay Flowers. I mean, if Lamar Jackson has a big day, that could be with Zay Flowers. If they connect on the Wombo combo, then yeah. And then playing Eagles kicker and Eagles defense against Washington, which I'm all for. I'm not a fan of the Jake Elliott play because Eagles, if it's past 50, they've been hesitant on having him kick because Elliott just hasn't been doing good making field goals past 50 yards.
Neither is
Um,
Tucker.
oh, I didn't even notice he's playing Tucker. Jeez, never mind. Keep your kickers. It's a coin flip.
Yep.
Um, Detroit defense against Chicago. Yeah, I like that play. This one's tough. I'm gonna give it to Drew. Um, I think the X factor is Lamar Jackson. Honestly, if Patrick Mahomes doesn't play, um, I mean, if he plays, is he really going to score over 20 points?
I can tell you, if I would have drafted Mahomes, I probably would have benched him weeks ago.
So it's I'm going to give it to Drew. I think Drew's team is it's close. I'm going to give it to Drew.
So I forget the names, and I apologize, but I'm going to give it to first round fail.
That is Drew.
That is Drew. Okay. So I'm going to give it to, and I'm going to make it quick here. Lamar Jackson is, I have him. I know I keep saying this, but I have him in one of my leagues too. My three quarterbacks are Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. And so, he's so hard to stop because even if he's struggling in the passing game, he's going to run for 70 plus and probably run for a touchdown or two. And then if he's struggling on the ground, it usually means it's because he's throwing the ball well. And if that's the case, he's going to be hooking up with Flowers for that wombo combo right there. And just what you said, Mike Evans is on his arrows pointing up. Shakir's arrows pointing up. Hubbard's arrows pointing up. He just got paid. Ford, that 11.3 is low. He's going to be 15 plus easy. Like you said, tight end, Flowers. I like both teams. Tracy Jr. has struggled. I don't think he's gotten over 50 yards the last couple of weeks. I like him. I think you'll be surprised. I think the Giants might have found a decent franchise running back in Tracy too. I have a lot of faith in Tracy. Barkley is a stud, but I think for this game to be close, he's gonna need a huge game out of Barkley and a very good game out of Pickens, which Pickens has had a really good game in the past before too. So, but yeah, I'm gonna give it to first round fails.
All right. And then we're going to move over to me versus Mike. I'll let you start this first.
All right, let's look at it here. Quarterback goes to you. Man. Ooh, that was good. You got Lad, huh? You made that pickup?
I drafted Lad this year.
Oh, nice draft.
And that was an investment, and it
That's
paid
a good
off.
investment. Yeah. So here's the thing: is his number one receiver is better than your number one receiver, but I would rank him one, you two and three, and then him four, if that makes sense. So it kind of comes out in the wash because I've seen everybody's scared of Jamar Chase right now because he's a stud, and I get that. And I've seen Puka go off just as many points as Jamar Chase has. Mixon, if he plays, he's good. I think he'll outplay A-Chain. White, that's an interesting play. I have both White and Bucky on one of my leagues, and I go back and forth. But I think Bucky's going to be healthier this week potentially than he has been. So I think we're going to see White disappear a little bit. Bowers is a stud. He should be on your keeper radar as
He
well.
is. He was a 7th round draft pick this past year, and he'll be a 6th next year if I keep him. So
And
I'm keeping him.
yeah, Devontae Adams arrows pointing up after last week, I think too. You picked me, and it's not for that reason, but I think you're going to take this one. And also, I don't. Go ahead.
I was going to say, right now, Mike has Baker Mayfield in instead of Joe Burrow.
Oh, I didn't look at the bench yet. Is Burrow is he at risk of not playing?
I think he's playing the matchup.
I think that's a mistake. But Mike is in first place, and I'm almost in last. So I have no room to talk there. But, I mean, you got to stick with the hand that fed you, Mike, in my opinion. And that wombo combo carried you to the playoffs. And now when it matters the most, you're going to bench the boy? Come on now. Put a little respect on his name. I think you got to play Burrow. I don't like that play at all. Baker Mayfield's been playing better, and his arrow's pointing up too. There's a lot of players that are coming on strong. Look at the league leaders. When you have the league leader quarterback and the league leading receiver on the same team, and you have them on your fantasy team, you got to make that play. But hopefully, Mike's throwing it in my face in a week. But we'll see what happens. But
Um,
I give it to you. I don't know if I said that. I do give it to you. Even if he does play Burrow, it'll make it closer. I think right now you're going to win by 10 points. I think if he puts Burrow in, it's going to come down to the last couple minutes of the game. Of Does anybody play Monday night? No. So it's gonna come down to the Sunday night game. Does anybody play this? Yeah, it'd come down to the Sunday night game.
so I'm gonna give my unbiased take first because everybody
Okay.
knows what my biased take is gonna be. So
Hmm.
Mike, I sure play Baker Mayfield. That's a mistake. I think you got to play Joe Burrow. Um, prove me wrong. Go ahead and do it. Maybe Baker Mayfield will have the bigger day. Maybe that's why you win. Don't think so. But I've been wrong before. You do have the best team in the league for a reason. That reason is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. But anyways, looking at this, I think QB matchup. I think if you play Burrow, I give you the edge on the QB matchup, just because of what Burrow's been doing. That doesn't mean Jalen Hurts is going to be a flop this week. I think he's going to continue to get me anywhere from 20 to 30 points. He's going to do well. Puka, he could blow up. Jamar Chase, he could blow up. I think Chase's ceiling's a little bit higher than Puka, but that can be a shutout. Um, I have Ladd in the lineup this week. Losing Montgomery, I was forced to put Dowdle in my starting running back, which is fine. He's a good running back, especially this tail end of the season. It's just it removed the choice as to who am I going to leave on the bench out of my flex. Usually I have Adams in one of my main spots, but this week I put the players that are going to play sooner up in wide receiver. Otherwise, Ladd probably would have been my flex if they all played at the same time. Um,
I do the same thing.
I get the DJ Moore play. I mean, you got to play him and hope for the best. Running backs, I think I got you beat. Tight end, I got you beat. Flex, I got you beat. I think that most of the positions I do have you beat at. Kicker, I'll give you the edge. That's probably the only kicker I'd put above Fairbairn. Um, Defense, I'm gonna call. I'm gonna give myself the edge, not by much. I think it's the combination of Burrow and Chase is why you would beat me this week.
Yep.
Um, now
Also,
that
McLaurin's on the bench. That's not right, is it?
going against Philly,
Uh, I think
Philly's
they're going
good,
to be
man.
slinging the rock. I already said that. I know they're
Um,
a stud defense. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Don't they have Sauce out there? But I don't know.
they got those two rookies. They have the youngest defense in the league, and it's the number one defense in the league.
It's a good sign.
It is. So, that's my unbiased take. My biased take, Mike, zero chance. You play whoever you want. It don't matter. Uh, I don't care if you find a way to score 150. You will lose. The fantasy gods have destined your loss. It's fate. You will lose. I will handle.
Yeah.
I will take care of business this week,
Crush them.
and you will lose. Next week, we'll see. It doesn't matter at that point. I mean, sure, I would love to win and be a champion of the league. But beating you after beating Cameron, I'm the hero of the league. At least for a
Easy.
week. Then once champion's crowned, then everybody forget about me. Then I gotta do this all over again, and I'll do it again next year, and then probably lose. So you're going down, Mike. The memes, the gifts, they're gonna keep coming. They're gonna keep coming.
Yep. Yep. Pound them into the ground.
Bound them in the ground. So that is it for the matchups. All right, we got through that. We got a few other topics we're going to talk about. So let's talk about the Chiefs, Sam. Being a big Chiefs
Talk
fan,
about them.
Chiefs they've won the last two Super Bowls. I know
They
last
have.
year a lot of people were picking against them. I was picking against them,
Mm-hmm.
and going into this year, everyone's like, "Are they going to three-peat?" My stance has been like, "Why would they not?" We just saw Patrick Mahomes go to the Super Bowl with a team that the offense that wasn't doing well. They started clicking, and they did it on the road. Like there's no reason why they can't do it. Now they are struggling this year. They're getting lucky against bad teams. That's a bad formula. If you're getting lucky against good teams, Okay, I mean, you make your own luck. You shouldn't have to make your own luck against bad teams. Now, with that said, uh, I still think the Chiefs are going to go to the Super Bowl because it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Andy Reid. They'll find a way when playoffs matter. I think the only way that they lose, in my opinion, is if Buffalo does get uh, home field advantage, which I don't think is going to happen, and they play in a snowstorm because Buffalo will destroy you. Chiefs can play in the cold. We saw them play in the cold last year, but there's something different about Buffalo in the snow, and I think they would take care of business. I think that's the only way the Chiefs are making it to the Super Bowl this year. With that being said, they will lose the Super Bowl, um, and I'll get into that after a little bit. But Sam, Chiefs, are they going to three-peat?
So there's a reason why it's never been done before.
I would agree.
It's extremely difficult. I mean, you're talking about you're playing against the top of the top. I mean, these guys get paid millions of dollars to go out and do it. There's not a bad NFL football player out there. There's just bad when you compare it to other people.
Yep.
But so you can lose any given week. And here's the thing: it's been hard being a Chiefs fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. Not like that. Not hard because they're losing, but hard every week. I mean, even this past week when we won by 2 scores, I think most of us were throwing our hands up like, what is going on? It should have been 5 scores. Like it wasn't good. And you let these teams stick around, eventually one of them's going to get a lucky stab in between your ribs with a dagger when you don't see it coming. And been we've been stabbed. It's just so happened that one guy forgot to sharpen his dagger and stepped his toe out of bounds by an inch. You know what I mean? Like, we've been hit, but like you said, we're getting lucky and dodging the death blow, and eventually that's going to come. And like you said, when we get into the playoffs and we're not playing the Panthers anymore or fill in the blank team that we've barely beaten, scraped by the Raiders, it's going to be tough. Here's the one thing I will say is the Chiefs find a way to win. It's frustrating as heck that they always play down to their opponent's skill level instead of keeping going on it. And part of that, in my opinion, I love Andy Reid. I wouldn't trade him for any other coach out there. I mean that. But I think a lot of it is on coach in the fact that he's a player-friendly coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's not out there keeping his foot on the gas pedal. You look at the Bengals when they get up, they keep scoring. They want to win by yes, this year. But like a team that can score points, like they get up and they just keep running their same offense. The Bills are a great example.
Detroit.
They don't just start handing the ball off. Detroit, they're going to keep airing it out. They're going to keep running their game plan. For some reason, the Chiefs, they get a little bit of a lead and they completely, you can just see it. They change their game plan. So I'm dogging a lot on the Chiefs, but I will tell you the Chiefs find a way to win. I think if they get the first round bye, which I think they have a pretty good shot at doing, I think that they will make it to the playoffs. There are a couple of NFC teams that really scare me. The Eagles and the Lions, just putting it out there. I think either one of those, the Chiefs would be the underdog in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
The only AFC team that really scares me, to be honest with you, are the Bills. I want nothing to do with them. That being said, I could be wrong on this. I'm not a great history guy, even recent history, but I don't think Josh Allen has beaten Mahomes in the playoffs.
I don't think so.
And so I could see giving Mahomes the edge in that case. Even in the snow, I'm going to give it. I think the Chiefs will make it to the Super Bowl, just like you're saying. I'm worried about the NFC team. Whoever comes out, the Eagles or the Lions. I've said from the very get-go I don't want to face either one of those teams in the Super Bowl, but I think it's likely it's going to be one of those two teams. So I think it's going to come down to the Super Bowl, and we'll just see who's healthier at that time.
I think
I
that's
think
a
it's going
key
to be a coin
point.
flip.
I know health is big. The Chiefs, their O line. I mean, right now it's healthier than it was whenever they played Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, because there was
nightmare.
no offensive line.
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
They're not that bad, but I think that is what would keep them from winning. Chiefs been dealing with injuries all year. They might be healthy at the right time,
Yes, that's the
Um,
other point I was going to get to is Brown. They're saying there's percent. I don't think he will, and if he does, it'll be limited. But they're saying he could play this week. He could play Saturday, and I think Hollywood coming back is going to give another deep threat. Now Mahomes won't be able to throw the ball to him because he can't throw the ball downfield all of a sudden anymore. But he'll be down there running around fast. Uh, uh, but we are getting healthier. I don't think they figured out how to use Hunt and Pacheco the way that they should be. I think they're wasting those two studs. We don't have Thunder and Lightning on our team. We have Thunder and Thunder, but that still can work if you rotate them every possession and you have
mhm.
fresh legs coming in and just running the ball down their throat. That's another thing Andy's done his entire career, it seems like, is he'll come out starting the game running the ball and it'll be working, and it's just like he likes to see him throw the ball or something, and he
He
just
does.
starts shifting into just a pass heavy offense. It's like, what are we doing? So I think if we can figure out, we get healthy, we figure out how to use the Thunder and Thunder combination at running back, um, and I really, they're not going to, but I wish they would bring back the enemy since he's done in college, and just help him have him be a consultant, because that offense just ran so much smoother when he was there. I don't know if it was him or not, but I think
Well,
it could even just be a mental lift thing to see him back in the building.
whenever
But
he was there, he was the play caller, though, right?
yes, well, Andy Reid has always been the play caller. He always calls the plays, but I think out of all the, whatever you want, offensive coordinator, assistant head coach, whatever title you want to give him, Bieniemy was the one that he listened to the most.
See, I thought Eric called the plays whenever he was offensive coordinator, and Nagy started, and then Reed took it over, and
You
that's
could
what
be
I
right.
thought.
I don't remember Reed ever giving up play calling. I think he really enjoys doing that. I think if Bieniemy comes back, that'd be great, because he started out with the Chiefs as a running back coach, and so I think he would push for some more running plays. But meanwhile, Matt Nagy was the quarterback coach, so he probably
Mhm.
wants to sling the ball around. But
I'll have to
anyways,
check that.
it'll be fun
I,
to
I think
watch.
Bieniemy was. I think he was the one calling plays.
Okay, I will believe you if you tell me that's what.
So I mean, I'm not a Chiefs fan like a lot of you guys. I know Steve could answer something in chat, or we could Google it later. But that would bode well. I mean, you got somebody as fast as Worthy. Uh, I mean, if you want to replicate what you had with Hill, you could to an extent. Um, Hopefully, Worthy can at least catch the ball better. As long as you don't. I mean, Hill, as long as it was in his chest, you're fine. Anywhere else, he's not catching it.
Yeah. Uh, Here's the thing, and I know we've been playing what if all year, but can you imagine if they would have had a Hollywood Brown, Rasheed Rice, um, Worthy, and Kelsey out running all year? That's ridiculous. It's a bummer it never came to be.
I mean, and then if Pacheco never got hurt too. I mean,
Yes.
going into this year, everybody's like, their team is only better this year. Um, so it was a
I think
bummer to see Rice get hurt.
Yeah,
I think
I
that
think a
started it.
lot of people forget that the Chiefs have only lost one game, and they've been out without their, at the time. Now we brought in D Hop, which is awesome. I wanted him in the offseason, so
Hmm.
I was thrilled when we brought him in. I think he fits the team so, I mean, perfectly. He's not a diva. He'll do what it takes to help the team out, and he's got hands for
Yeah.
days. Although he's dropped a couple. I mean, they were very tough catches, but dropped a couple here the last couple weeks. But, anyways, to kind of put a bow on the Chiefs three-peating, obviously the unbiased opinion is I think it's going to be tough. There's a reason it's never been done before. They play 10 games, or I'm sorry, 3 games in 10 days here.
Yep.
Uh, when our quarterback's banged up and some other stuff's going on. So I think it's going to be an uphill climb. I would say that it's going to come down to who's healthier in the Super Bowl, and if the Chiefs defense can get back to form, because they've been slipping a little bit the last couple weeks. So if our defense can get back to form, I think we have a shot. We'll see what happens.
So you're
Yes, they will three-peat. I'll just say it.
all
They
right.
will.
Who
They'll find a way.
and who they beaten? If you had to pick a team today.
Uh, the Eagles. I think we saw that the Lions can get got last week.
Hmm.
Um, Now they were playing a stud team, but I felt like they got handled. And the Eagles just, they've had their hiccups, but they just seem to be steamrolling. I mean, it's like put whatever you want on the tracks in front of them, they're just going to go right through it. Between the two teams, I would much rather play the Lions. Even though we've beaten the Eagles, I'd rather play the Lions than the Eagles. The Eagles scare me, and plus, I just don't want to lose to your favorite team. So.
I know looking at it today, like if players were to, if you were to rank teams, I would say I personally think my unbiased opinion, Eagles are the best team, and I think a lot of that has to say they're healthy. They are a healthy team, and they're playing excellent football. They've showed this past week they could beat you. They don't have to beat you on the ground. They can beat you in there if they so choose.
Mhm.
And their defense is one of the top in the league. The Lions, I mean, a few weeks ago, I'd easily say they are the best team in the league. But injuries, my worry for the Lions is injuries are catching up. Um, we had that big game with Buffalo and Detroit. Honestly, the reason why I still think Chiefs will do it over Buffalo, I don't care how good of an offense you have. If your defense is giving up 40 points, I don't care if you're going up against a juggernaut, that'll be a problem. I don't think you're going to put up 40 points against the Chiefs, even though their defense has been more like, okay, what's going on? You're not going to put up 40 points against them. You're not going to put up 40 points against the Eagles defense.
Nope.
So it's I mean, injuries could the script could flip pretty fast. A few bad weeks with injuries, then things can change. But I'd say today Eagles are the best team. But I think at the NFC, it's really going to come down to who is going to have home field advantage. I do think Eagles can go to Detroit now and beat them, probably because of the injuries they're dealing with. I don't think Detroit has a shot going to Philly in the cold and winning, especially with the injuries that they're having.
I don't know how much the cold will bother them, but I agree with you on that.
So now as just a fan of football, if I'm not a fan of any particular team, I think a great Super Bowl would be the Bills and Lions. We'd see a rematch. I think that would be exciting for all of football to see those two go at it. I don't know which team I'd want to see win it more. Josh Allen, I mean, he should get league MVP. The
I
only
hate the
reason,
Bills. I hate the Bills, so I'll never root for the Bills.
well, I'm
They've
saying
taken over as like
as a
because of
fan of
Josh Allen.
football, yeah. I'm just saying as a fan
Yeah,
of football, we haven't seen the Bills do it. If they've won the past 2 years, then no, nobody would be like, no, I don't. Most people they don't want to see the Chiefs this year because they're tired of seeing the Chiefs. They are
right.
the new villain of the league. They're the new
I
Patriots,
love it too.
dude. I
Oh,
would
you
play
should
that
see
card,
the trolling I do on Facebook.
dude.
Makes me so happy.
I hope you're being like, yeah, we are paying off the refs. What are you talking about,
Oh yes,
dude? Good,
100%. Oh, I lean into it hard.
good.
Oh yeah,
That's what I would
yes.
do.
I went to the Chiefs Atlanta game in Atlanta and sat in a suite and surrounded by fans. And yeah, anytime the refs threw a flag, even if it was blatant, they'd be like, "Oh, there it is again," and I'm like, yes, sir.
They
My
should threw
billboard's
that
getting
flag
more
out
lighter."
sooner.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been fun being the villain, but
That's too good. Let's
yes,
see here. Let me pull my okay. Mahomes. Uh, you said it. I mean, we all kind of know they have 10 games, or 10 games, 3 games in the next 10 days.
it's a lot.
It is. Should they rest Mahomes for any of it?
So, my opinion is yes. Uh, in my I think Carson Wentz is the best backup quarterback in the league right now. That's not a rookie an unknown. Let me put it that way. A veteran. He's the
Yep.
best veteran backup quarterback. He came in just for those few plays and he looked good. He was slinging the ball, which if we go back to who would you ask who I would start over was it Richardson
Hmm.
or Carson Wentz? I would do Wentz because it wouldn't surprise me. People are going to be like, what? It wouldn't surprise me if the offense actually took a step up, an uptick if Wentz came in for one, because he's been doing is studying the playbooks, getting his reps in at practice, but studying the playbooks, looking at a tablet, seeing who's open, seeing about the timing. He can still zip the ball. We saw him throw it
Mhm.
around. I would definitely, not to mention they moved Tooney over to left tackle, and he didn't give up a sack last week. But if you could give him another week where he's not having to protect Mahomes, give him another week to get his feet underneath him, give him another week to figure out the running back situation,
Yeah.
and then also let Carson Wentz go out there and air it out. Um, I would definitely rest Mahomes for 1 week, just one. Just to be clear, I would rest him against Houston, and then I would play him against the Steelers. Um, that Steelers game is going to be big.
Yep.
But yeah, to finish my point, yes, you start. In my opinion, you start Carson Wentz. I don't think you would see the offense because let's face it, the offense hasn't been firing all cylinders all year, anyways. I don't think you would see much of a downtick. I would actually predict for 1 week, it wouldn't be a permanent thing, but for 1 week, you would see an uptick in offense if you brought in Carson Wentz. Let your line get settled a little bit more, get your running backs, get your feet underneath them. Also, Mahomes could work on his timing with Hollywood Brown, and then come the Steelers game, game time, showtime.
So I would agree. I think you play Wentz this week. I mean, you're paying him to be your backup quarterback. We know what Wentz has done before in the past, and his biggest issue, just don't turn the ball over. If you don't turn the ball over, he could be more than a serviceable quarterback. Before he tore his ACL, I mean, he was leading candidate for MVP that year.
Yep.
Um, and I think what ruined him was Eagles going to Super Bowl and winning with Nick Foles. I think that was detrimental to his career and his mind. Um, so I think you play Wentz. I think he would have a better game than Richardson. I also agree with that. He'll get you more completions too, and I won't be surprised if Wentz gets you 40 receiving yards either. So
40 receiving yards.
sorry, 40 rushing yards. I mean, he might
By the
catch
way,
his
my
own.
headphones just died. I swear I charged them, but they died. So hopefully you can still hear me
Yeah,
okay.
we can. It's all good.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I think you play Wentz. I'm rooting for him. I mean, I got a big heart for Wentz.
He
If
got
if
he got a bad hand.
yeah, if for whatever reason Mel Holmes gets knocked out, and as long as they're not playing the Eagles, I'm going to be rooting for Wentz to go all the way. Because that would be pretty cool. Chiefs like, oh, they three-peated. Oh, Mahomes did again. No, it was Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I mean story wise, and here's the thing is people make Mahomes out to be the villain
Well, sure.
because he's on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
There's nothing not to like about Mahomes,
Oh,
in
he's
my
my favorite
opinion.
player in the league.
He's a great dude. He takes care of his community. He keeps his nose clean. He keeps his head down.
Oh,
He's funny in the commercials. If even if you look at that stuff,
yeah.
like he stays out of politics. Like
Yes.
he's just easy to like. The only reason why people don't like him is because he's found success. Kind of like Tom Brady. Now he's a little bit. I think Mahomes is a better person than
I would
Tom
agree.
Brady was, but at the same time, it's one of those things that I grew to not like Tom Brady at all. But boy, did I respect him.
Yep.
It's that old anchorman thing, like hated the guy, but I respect him. And I think that's how a lot of people feel about Mahomes. And I think a lot of people, again, forget he was without his two top receivers to start the
Yep.
season. His offensive line has been horrible. He's been running for his life. So, yeah.
Yep.
Anyways,
Yeah, no, like I said, well, I hate the Chiefs. A lot of people in the league they know that I absolutely hate them. But you got my old coach. I love Andy Reid. We really can't hate the guy. He's a good person. He's a player's coach. He likes giving players second chances. Patrick Mahomes, he's my favorite player in the league. And like I compare him to Peyton Manning. What Peyton Manning did for the league, he was just something special. Something he
yes,
changed the game, and that's what Patrick Mahomes did.
yes,
And I I like that he's grounded. He'll speak his mind, but he stays neutral, or he doesn't go crazy politics. And I that's what leaders of the sport should do. But then I'll also say people they shouldn't idolize athletes. That's not who you should be idolizing,
no,
because they will set you up to fail or to be
yes,
disappointed. Like Donovan McNabb, one of my favorite players of all time. he's not a great human being.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
sure, I root for him and everything, and I want him to be a great human being, but I've heard a lot of not good things. So,
Yeah.
but I don't idolize him. I just look at
Yeah.
the talent. But there are things that Mahomes just does all around that, like it's you would have to try to hate him. I think if you just enjoy the game of football, like yeah, Mahomes, he's cool. I hate him whenever I got to
Oh
play against him, but
man.
he's a great player. He's great for
Yes.
the league.
You know what I just thought of? How
Hmm.
bad would it be if it was Mahomes that was dating Taylor Swift and not Kelsey? Oh God, could you imagine how bad it would be now? There's already so much hate around Kelsey and Taylor. Imagine if it was Mahomes and Taylor. Oh
Man,
God. Oh, horrible.
um, that'd be weird. Me, like, I love the whole Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift thing. I'm not a T Swift fan. I like I I don't have a problem with her. Like I just don't listen to that kind of music. I think the reason why I like it so much is because it bothers so many Chiefs fans. So I'm like, oh yeah, no, I want more. It's great.
Oh, it
Um,
doesn't bother me at all.
but
I
I've also said that Travis Kelsey's probably the best boyfriend that she's ever had. That she's
oh
ever had.
yes.
So
It's the first man that she's dated. She dated a bunch of boys.
yeah.
She's finally dating a man. So yeah, I'm with you on that. But
So Um, so I did think of one other thing to talk about real quick. So
do it.
you're back in this league. So just some things that you observed. Is there anything that you would like us to introduce or something that we're not doing in this league that you think would be great? If there's nothing, that's fine. But is there something that you have done in other leagues that you think would be good for this league?
Honestly, so far, not really. I like I said, I really like keeper leagues, but you already got that going for you. I've never messed with I forget the dollar, what you call the dollars, but
Oh, the
the
fab
waiver
budget.
dollars, the fat budget. What'd you call me?
Fab, fab,
Fab.
FABB.
Gotcha. Yeah, the fab budget. That's fun. That's a really cool twist on it. Because there are times in my other leagues where I'm like, I'm not even going to try to put a waiver claim in on that guy because
Yeah,
I
if
got no shot to get him. So,
this gives
it
everybody a chance.
matter of fact, if a commissioner in another league asked me this question you just asked me, I would tell them we need to do fab bucks.
All right.
That's a cool thing. So I like the keeper. I like the fab bucks. The competition is awesome. Like it's not. Have you ever been in a league where you just walk all over everybody? Like you go and it's like someone just dropped fill in the blank Cooper Cup. It's like what? What? Okay, I'll pick him up. There's none of that in this league. Everybody's intelligent. What really gave it away too is the pickup for that guy. I can't say his name. The backup running back for San Francisco that we all
Mhm.
tried to get, and that's what was cool is whoever posted that. What everybody tried to spend on that.
Mhm.
I think everybody tried to claim him
Oh yeah.
because they knew that he was going to be a point scorer and potentially could save someone in the playoffs. In my other league, there would have been 2 or 3 claims on him. So to be honest with you, there's nothing so far that I would change. I'm excited to see what the punishment is for coming in last. I'm really excited to see if you get me like a big check when I win that $1,000 or whatever the rollover is. If you're gonna have like one of those big checks made up to give to me, or if you're just gonna write if it's Venmo, it'll be interesting to see how you do that. Let me just put it that way. But
Well, you
I
got to
already have
win
some things
twice
picked
first.
out.
So.
Yeah, whatever. Semantics. I already got some things picked out. I'm gonna do with the money, but no, I think that's a cool concept too, by the way. The only other thing that I've really ever kind of looked at, which then you're really getting into the weeds with money and it's a pain in the butt enough to collect money, but doing the little things. Have you seen those leagues where it's like the week winner, like the highest point scorer gets something,
We do that.
or what?
We do that.
Oh, I wasn't
So,
aware of that. So,
um, so yeah. So whoever scores the most points that week, they get $20.
okay.
So it's $100 league, right? And first place, they only get 400. They only get 400. So that's not that big of a margin. I think second was 150, third was 50 or 100. And we only paid out the top three. But it was a rolling pot. Like a lot of it went towards rolling pot, and then we paid out people that performed well throughout the year. So if you have 3 big weeks at the tail end of the year, if you don't win anything, it's like, well, I just only paid $40 this year because I won $60
Right.
back, and
Yeah.
it rewards those teams that are doing well throughout the whole year, even though they might not have won. So, but that is something that we do now. Playoffs, we don't pay that
Playoffs.
out. Playoffs, we don't pay out high score. Only the regular season.
Gotcha. Um,
Great
so
question,
that
though.
that would be cool. And then like if even if there was other little prop, I don't know if you call them prop bets or whatever, but like other little props. But besides, I mean that's semantics. Like you were talking about, it sounds like whoever loses, someone gets to name that person's team.
Winner
Like
of
I
the
think it might.
consolation bracket gets to name.
Ooh.
So that could be you, and you
uh,
would have rights because that
Toilet brushes. Someone's gonna be the toilet brushes next year
the
if I win.
toilet brushes.
The toilet brushes. Um, or the poop tickets, which is another way to say toilet paper. Um, but no, it's a great league, great people, great. I know I'm brown nosing now, but great commissioner. You take it serious, which is important because I've been in leagues where the commissioner is just like another one of the players and doesn't really keep things moving, keep things exciting. Talk about the matchups and stuff. So overall, it's an awesome league, and I'm super happy that you invited me back, and I look forward to sticking around for a while this time.
All right. Well, I think we will end the episode on that note. Sam, thank you for being on the episode this week. Next week is going to be another big episode. I hope to have Ben back for championship
Yeah,
matchup breakdowns. We might have a guest on next week too, or the two people in the championship. We will see,
that'd be good.
and yeah, we'll go from there. And then the episodes will continue a little bit after this season's over, especially through the NFL playoffs. Especially if we have league reset. If we have league reset this year, if Mike finds a way to win, we have some topics that we're gonna have to bring in uh, to see if there's any changes. So Sam, I know I mentioned this to you before. So any off season, we can change settings or rules to the league, but it has to be a unanimous decision. Whenever league reset happens, it's like only 8. Like it has to be majority people. I have to go back and look at the PowerPoint presentation I built or PDFs I did for
Oh
this,
Lord,
dude.
God, that's the most
It's
Mitch thing I've ever heard.
structure, right?
You probably had an Excel sheet somewhere too.
I do.
That fits.
So, but yeah, things will continue even after next week. So, but yeah,
Sounds good.
Sam, thanks again. Love the outfit.
Thanks for having me.
Um,
Thank you.
and as always, if you all like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. And, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.